Oh, hey guys, dzień dobry. I know it's going to be a shocker, but we're in Krakow right now. And you know how I can tell that I'm in Poland? Because there's a tractor on the road right over there. Isn't that great? It is great. I'm doing a bit of a walk to my apartment for the night. And several kilometers into the center of Krakow. So join me. Who knows, maybe there'll be something worth seeing. Or not. Anyway, let's do this. So, in case you were ever wondering what it's like to live on the outskirts of the city and go about 2 kilometers inwards to get to Old Town, this is what it looks like. Yep, this is what it looks like. And the more that you get closer, more traffic, more apartment buildings, all that other good stuff. But, you know, when there's no cars, it's quiet enough. Don't be jealous now. Don't be jealous. Now, I've actually done this walk before. When I was a teacher here, depending on the time of day, this would be bumper to bumper and you wouldn't be able to move. And I remember one night we had been in traffic for at least 30 minutes. And I could see the cars lined up. So I actually hopped out and I did this walk then. And I felt like I was going places. I did. Definitely a different architecture here than the middle of the city. It's more realistic, I guess. Well, we made it back to civilization, to Stare Podgórze. I think I'm pronouncing it right. I spared you the majority of the walk because, frankly, it's not very entertaining. But here we are, back in my old stomping ground, and I still got about 30 minutes until I can check into my my apartment for the evening. If you want some decent Ukrainian food for my Ukrainian viewers, this place right here, the Mix Mart, they have very good for the pelmeni, just so you know. It's really interesting being on the street in the sunlight, not on a cold day. Shocking, actually. Now, a colleague of mine last summer, when I came to visit, took me here to Zabłocie. Very good quesadillas and tacos and whatnot. So you should check it out if you're into Mexican food. See the nice, beautiful building right here? Really not doing a good job with this, but come on, camera. Sorry, guys, the camera's a little bit moody today. It's confused why that now we keep moving from location to location. It's actually kind of neat to be back in a location that I haven't seen in a while. Like, case in point, this building right here, they were doing construction to it last time, and now it looks like it's done. It looks lovely. I was going to take you up this route right here to get up to, there's a church I want to check out that I've not been able to go into. Look at the steps. Look at the little flowers that they planted. It's quite lovely. Here's an apartment building they've redone. Now, about my apartment, which is actually next to my favorite monument in all of Krakow, it's kind of a funny story to me, or more like it's a strange one, but I was supposed to, the check-in time is not until 3. So I reached out and said, hey, can I check in at 2? And I guess in their small print, you can check in at 1 even, if you're willing to pay the 50 zloty charge. So basically for 1 hour, because I had to go to the chiropractor. Thank you very much. My neck can move again, by the way. It's like $12. Hold on for a second. What is this? What is this thing? Come on, Krakow. We don't need this. So anyway, it was for me to arrive 1 hour sooner than the check-in, they're going to charge me $12. My room for the night, I think it's $60. So you do the math, okay? Not a good deal. I even wrote him back, and I was like, I've stayed here. I used to live here. I was like, never mind. I'll be here at 3. We have a secondhand store right here. Look at this unicorn. Wow. It is so funny being on the street again, only because with it only being 2:30 in the afternoon, it's just really, really quiet. I'm used to like the hustle and bustle. Very good. Even though the building looks like it has soot on it, I still think it's pretty. And what we're doing is we're turning right here. Oh no! No! Damn it. So you see this building right here? And you see all the nice ivy on it? Well, I thought it would have started growing back by now. So the issue is, depending on the time of year, when the ivy is there, it actually looks like an elephant. Oh, that's a huge bummer. Didn't want that. All right, we'll try up here. Now, I know you guys all know that Lithuanians are the tallest people in the world. And I say that with a preface because I feel like there might have been a Lithuanian who tried to break into the theater over here. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Do you see what I'm talking about right there? Look at that fingerprint. Crazy. So someone from Lithuania came down here, tried to break into the building. Typical, right? Well, that's what the Polish people would say. Lithuanians would be like, why are you spreading lies? See, guys, I'm trying to appeal to you. People that followed me since Vilnius. Now, there's a church over here. Usually I go to St. Joseph's. St. Joseph's is my, stomping ground. I love it. But there's a church over here that I've been trying to get into the actual worship area for now, 2 years. More than 2 years, actually. So we're going to try this out. So the church is right up here on the left. As I like to say, it's very old school. I mean, here, let's look up. I, for some reason, get a kick out of doing vantage points that way. I do not know why. I just do. It makes me smile. So, I found this church, one, because I always walk this way to going to work. But two, the first time that I ever filmed with this camera that I have right now, my DJI Pro, I actually came on this exact walk, this section of the church, and I filmed in the park right over here. So here's the church. Let's see if they'll let us in for once. That would be kind of nice. So if you go straight that way, you can go up to the TV or radio tower. I've filmed there before, but it's quite lovely. And look at this. Oh God, they always do this to me. I don't think we can go in. I think you can only go this far. Yeah. So, yeah, my camera's not going to get us any of that. Well, I'm not having a good string with Polish churches the last 2 days. And Vuch, however you pronounce it, couldn't get into any churches. Today, couldn't get into this one. I know which one's always open, St. Joseph's. We'll go in there just because I have to break the streak. I forgot how much I like this street. Oh, passing the scene of the crime again right there. Awful. I don't even know if it... The glare on my camera is so bad, I can't tell what I'm getting and what I'm not getting. So I apologize if my filming looks worse than usual. It's probably why. But what's nice about the street is you're one block up, so you don't have to deal with all the traffic, and you still get kind of just a quiet, beautiful street to walk on. For people that like, the historical buildings. So my acupuncturist is on this street right here. But what I wanted to show you was just these 3 buildings right here. they're very, there's nothing complicated about it, but you can see that they're like the original, which is pretty. And on any walking tour of Krakow, that's what you want to see. It's not just about all the touristy spots. You see the hill? That's where the park is. When I did my 5 reasons to not visit Poland in the summer video, that's where I filmed. I mean, we actually walked around quite a bit, but it's one of the locations. And this was the police station. I'm not sure what's going on. There's no one out front. They must have moved. I somehow picked up an assistant with the church in the background over there, St. Joseph's. We'll go there momentarily. I need to show you something. It's funny how we all have like our favorite places to visit. And my dog is still with me. So I always love this spot. On Saturday mornings they have a market here. And right next to the Rossmans, straight across the street, if you go a little bit to the right and then turn towards the bridge, there's a Georgian bread place that is out of this world. And I was going to stop there, but I know if I do, then I'm going to be pointing at stuff just like I did in my last video with the pretzel, which I felt a little bit ridiculous pointing with the pretzel. But there you go. There's your view again. And maybe you can see the bridge in back. That's the bridge that goes into Kazimierz. And that bridge, was the bridge they used for Schindler's List. Okay, so now we're at St. Joseph's. Oh, thank God. Praise the heavens. And I know it's unlocked. There's no way it's not unlocked. If it is, I don't know what's going on with Poland. That's all I'm going to say. Success. It's so beautiful. I'll show you the altar. So there's little chapels on the side. Today we'll focus on these ones. Here's the altar. Right here. And here's a different vantage point. I was just about to say, before we got in there, I was like, did Poland close all the churches for Lent? 'Cause that's what I was thinking. Look at this beauty. Now during the Christmas season, they have a really cute Christmas market right here in their square. And if you ever come to Krakow, or if you are in Krakow, you can easily get on one of these little tourist bus things, and they'll lead you right here. It's a must. And because I'm feeling extra touristy today, we'll go this way. I was going to take you back to where I used to live. For perspective's sake, the ghetto was all right here. It was almost like the church was the boundary marker for it. Isn't that beautiful? And look at the flowers. There are, for some reason I thought that Poland didn't have flowers at the end of March. Maybe that's just New England, where we get traumatized, where there's no blooms. But look at these guys. Look at these beauties coming right up. Right here as well. By the time that this video comes out, everything will be in green and lush and ready to go. we're going to go that way momentarily. It's very interesting to see, like, what restaurants are open, which ones are gone. Like, even right now, across the street, I'm looking, I'm like, that restaurant's not there anymore. Or is it? One more comment about the church right here. It's very rare, if at all, on Saturdays that there's not at least multiple weddings going on there. So plan in advance. And all right, let's cross the street. Before I moved to Krakow, I remember watching some walking vlogs of this area, and because I was trying to figure out where I should live. See, this was all open before. What the heck? And anyway, I watched a guy in this part of the city, and he made it sound like it was like in the middle of nowhere. Like, oh, you have to make the pilgrimage over to Stare, and it's like, it's right across the river, right? Like, legitimately right across the river. You probably won't believe me, but even though I lived here for an entire year and have been back multiple times, I've never been to any of these restaurants. I don't know if I should be bragging about that point. I just haven't. Now, I timed this exactly right. I have 10 minutes until I'm legally allowed to get into my place. And I apologize for the sarcasm, but truly, you're going to charge me $12 extra for an hour? Ridiculous. But look at this. This is why I wanted to be in this part of town, though. Because there's the river. She's so narrow here, like compared to where we started off our journey in Poland in these last few vlogs. Here's the walking bridge. Sorry, the pedestrian bridge. It actually has a name. Oh my God. What is he doing out? Oh no, I know why. I know why. Here's a sad story. I'm going to tell you about it. We'll even go down a few steps and enjoy the water to tell you why that the little dragon is there with locks. Because I've seen this in Wrocław. He's showing up now, and where usually there's locks along this entire way for people to express their love for one another, he's going around, I put that in air quotes, he's going around and he's collecting them because it's causing like structural damage to the bridge. So in effect, don't put your locks there anymore. Find somewhere else because they're not going to let you keep them. Oh, it's beautiful today. Amazing. I do love this city. But just don't tell Krakow that, because then they'll be on to me. I try to pretend I have a love-hate relationship. All right, how are we going to do this? Maybe we can just go straight to the hotel. Rock on. Right across the street. Here's a cafe I've always wanted to try. But I think I've been waiting. This kid's not even looking. Did you see that? We almost got killed. Almost got killed. We were just minding our business, looking at the lion. So my apartment is on the street. If you don't want to go on one of those tours, I will say this is something I like to show. So they have these up around this section of town, because again, it was the ghetto. The Jewish ghetto, where they kicked everyone out from across the river and sent them here to live, if we can call it that. But those plaques are scattered throughout, so you can take a look. And yeah. Now, a very sad story happened right here. When I first moved here, there was a dilapidated building right here. And now it's just a glorified parking area. But on this building, there are these wonderful ghosts. They literally crack me up every time. And instead now, it's nothing. It's very sad. Very sad. And instead, get these weird flowers right here, if you can see them. I love the architecture here. I think I've said that a couple times. So we're looking for building 30. I hope it's not the building I think it is, where they have like a couch out to the side. Well, we'll find out, won't we? My lovely building here. Something about reading. Crossing the street. Oh, I hope it's not. I won't be annoyed, but I think it is the building I didn't want to stay in. Not that this one looks like a winner either. But we'll see. We'll see. All right. I'll see you in a flash. Well, we made it in safely, right at 3 o'clock for my 198 zloty or $51 for the night. So if you note, I have a kitchen, and I am going to be cooking later because I remembered right across the street is another Ukrainian marketplace where I go for pelmeni, and I am craving pelmeni tonight. But you know, it's a nice kitchen. Here's the bathroom. I like to show off places that I think are a good deal. This has obviously been all redone. And then the reason why I got it is I like the couch myself right here. Yes, you're on the ground level, unless it's a construction zone, but story for a different day. And then they have a loft up here, which I thought was kind of cute. So here is a loft with lots of storage, by the way. So yeah, so that's the place. The building itself is lovely. I'll show you it as we walk out. All right, let's go. This building's actually really, really lovely. Look at it. I love the lights right here. And we're going this way. I actually made a quick change of plans. So now this is kind of like this is what's going on type of day. We're gonna go this way. I got about 40 minutes until my laundry is done. Meaning I put it into the dryer because I'm cool like that. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna go pick up some pizza. I realized after the fact that yeah, I haven't had, so this is kind of a weird funny fact. When I was in Tangier, I haven't had pizza at all. I had it once. I refused to. So here's the building where I'm staying. There's a map. And because I know this really, really well, we go this way. And chili pizza is waiting for me. And for old time's sake, because I used to get this like once a week, because it was a quick meal on the way home, we'll order something, get a couple slices and bring it back, eat, and then we'll go explore. We'll have to save pelmeni for the next trip. I was so delighted the day that I learned that this was a shortcut. Lovely building. Looks like a version of Space Invaders. Now, some of these buildings here, you might ask yourself, like, why do they still look kind of wrecked? What's going on is, so like where this one's completely redone, and even on my section where I lived across the street over there, like for them to do any work, they have to get permission from the city council, and well, it was something like that, the city council, and it has to be the exact way it was historically before they do anything to it, and it has to be done in that way. It can't be done using a newer method, so it's a extra price. But anyway, let me get pizza. All right, I got my 2 slices. I will say that's the one thing that I like doing here is I like getting 2 slices because then I don't feel like I'm such a glutton. But again, like look at this building right here. So structurally, it looks like it's pretty decent shape. But again, there's certain things that if they want to have it done, it has to be done in that way. And I only know that because in the apartment where I used to live, there was an issue for the stairs. He wanted to redo the stairs, and he wanted to redo it using like some of the fabricated wood, and they said no. They wouldn't like allow it. It would have to be a certain wood, and even the technique used had to be the same technique. Never heard of that before, but that's how they roll. Passing a cute little puppy. I think this is a hostel or something. It's kind of interesting. You have them littered throughout the city. So like you have like your Airbnb rentals like that I got for the night. And even this building right here, which is the old pharmacy, old Jewish pharmacy. I decided to come over here. I was going to say because there's benches for me to sit on, but there's really not. It's one of my favorite monuments here in town. Actually, A is my favorite monument with the chairs and representing those Jews that passed, that were taken away and died, among other things. But I always like the square. But over here, there's a spot where we can sit, I think. We'll find out momentarily. I had to turn around. But there's my building for the night. You can see even behind it. You can see its beauty. And what we're doing, we're going to slide over here. I don't have I'd have to eat either on my couch or on the counter. So I was trying to find a cute spot to sit. I don't think it's going to happen. Huh. Behind the statue right there. Not going to happen. Well, that's nice. That's nice. Love the graffiti, guys. There's that creature again. All right. There's nowhere for me to sit properly. I wanted to point out to you something kind of comical to me. So there's a Zabka right there. Okay. And, ooh, there's a cake dealer right here. Oh, that sounds interesting, doesn't it? For my sweets people. But, so, Zabka's there. And I want to show you, because this is what makes me laugh. Okay? Note how far I've walked so far. Not that far at all. And then, I'm going to turn the camera, and guess what you'll see again? Actually, we'll walk together. You can see it right there. There's the other Zabka. Amazing, right? And then on the other side of that building is another Zabka. And do you see where that, like, those blinking lights are right there? You go maybe a little bit past that, another Zabka. We are in like the Zabka paradise. That's what I call it. Yep. I'm watching the weather overhead. There's a front moving across, which isn't that exciting, but I don't want to be stuck in rain. You'll note this one's not as covered in graffiti as the Vooch one we just hung out with. Full disclosure, kind of tired. Not sure how much exploring we're going to do right now in our random walk. I'll tell you what, we'll cut down this side street, see if we find anything, and if not, so be it. See the front moving in? Which is kind of funny because honestly, there's been no rain this entire trip for me. Here in Krakow, rest of Poland. Another Zabka. Hey man, at least we know that they have the market cornered. Huh, School of Polish. Actually, that looks kind of nice. Matt's cheesesteaks. This is what I like. Whoa. When you take side streets and you kind of discover, you know, what's there, what's not there. More contrast for the architecture, where you get, like, you know, more modern buildings, I guess, versus kind of like the old ones in the background. And then you get this that's kind of a cute, can you see the graffiti right there on top? I like that one. Now tomorrow morning when I go to the airport, this is actually the way I will go. I will hop on the Zabłocie. I think I pronounced it right. Onto that train and go right to the airport for about $5. And my time in Poland will come to an end until it starts up again. So if you guys have any tips on places that I should visit in the future in Poland, please let me know. Look at this, isn't that beautiful? See the mural back there? Oh, here you go. Sorry about that. That's awesome. It's kind of exciting. Last time I couldn't get in this way. I had to go all the way around and come up. It's actually a cool neighborhood back there. But I thought for sake of where I started my journey a few days ago on the Vistula, the Wisła, we're gonna go back and take one final look. Oh my God! You know what? I was gonna comment about the trash, but at least they have good taste in beer. Look what they grabbed. They had a romper. Wow. Only the highest quality. Some people are looking at me like, what the hell is he saying? But, and the fact I was pointing at a romper, a used romper. Yeah. It's really not that funny. It is to me. I will say that is one of the wonky things about doing these vlogs, regardless of where I am. It's funny, I'm a little bit more comfortable here in Poland about it at this point, because I don't care. Because I think I'm more self-conscious in the States than I am anywhere else. But this is kind of an interesting house over there. Let me show you this. I was unable to get to any of this before, so this is kind of a new thing. The graffiti's new too, I guess. But look at this right here. Look at the back of this house. We're trying to get right there, but look at this. For perspective's sake, there's the train station. Here's an area that I think was a work zone, and then they stopped. And then right here, if you look very, very carefully, look at this. Look at this house. I don't want to get too close because I see people working. This is funny because just after I said I'm more comfortable doing this here in Poland, I'm more comfortable, but I'm still not that comfortable. 2 years plus of doing this. Actually, it's kind of crazy to think about it. Camera in hand, 2.5 years doing this. So we got this guy right here. I don't know what this guy is. We have a mouse. And we have, it's so crazy, like this legitimately is supposed to be the way to get you onto the platform, and they've only been done with this since last summer. It's all covered in graffiti. It's kind of funny because I'm curious to see if there's anything good. No, there's a phallic symbol. Well done, Poland. Well done. Skulls. I don't know what this is in reference to. I mean, you have some nicer, looks like better constructed graffiti over here. Jeez. You know, and I was going to make the comment how much better this town is compared to other places. And then they ruin it. But see, that's not bad for the elephant right there. At least it has a little style and the pizzazz. And for the first time since I've been visiting Krakow, this section is actually open. Because they were building this right here. They were making sure that the train bridge was all in order. So see now how the walking path is beautiful. This is by far the best part of the city, by the way. I mean, sure, you have all your sights. And you see where those clusters of trees are right there? Well, so right over there, for people that are looking for landmarks, things to do, that's where the old Jewish cemetery is. Definitely worth a to check out. There's a shopping plaza there that got decent groceries. And then if you want an adventure, if you go down this way and you follow the path, and come on camera, you're being moody. If you follow the river this way and keep going, there's some interesting, there's an interesting barge if you want to look at it. And you know what I just realized? What makes this so weird to me is this graffiti never used to be here. Because, and I'm sorry, I'm switching the topics, but it's true. So you got all your graffiti right here, but that building on the far end used to be like a restaurant. I don't know if it's still open, but the point is that there was stuff going on here, and now it's been marked. It's been marked. How cool is this? Really is, actually. And see the sun in the background over there? I don't know if you guys can see that. I don't want to go too close. So with the sun over the building, not sure if you can catch it. I can. But I think this is a good place to stop. So I appreciate you guys. And thanks for tagging along with me this afternoon while I got into my apartment for the night. And that's it from Poland. I'll see you guys in Wales. That's right. Off to the United Kingdom. All right. Till next time. Peace. As I said, everyone wants to go to the old town area. But there are other parts of the city to enjoy, like the river. Ciao, guys.